What students learn from me is that I grew up, I always tell them I grew up before television was invented. And they'll say, well, you know, we saw MASH and programs that are older than dirt on television. I said, well, I saw them when they were brand new, and they were like, oh, you're old as my great-grandfather or something. Sometimes I will tell them, well, I was here before Brown versus Board of Education. And I have to explain to them what that is. We talk about Mill Creek and how that's where African Americans lived, and they never heard about that. And then I talk about how going to Vietnam and even coming home after the war was a change, because the world changed overnight. I mean, between 1964 to 1972, the whole world changed. And then I will talk about going to St. Louis University and what that was like, and being an artist, because I do the Artist in Residence program here. You bring resources to the school, you give students an opportunity to participate in real life situations versus just learning what they learn in class.
Mr. Wesley's a treasure. He's a treasure not just for our school, but for the entire district. The things that he does to help in the classroom, the things that he does to help us with the displays that he has in the front of the school. He's always involved with the state of Missouri and getting things that are really important educationally for our kids.
The current exhibit is the military exhibit for Vietnam veterans. And since this is the 50th anniversary, we're showing that. So it really gives kids an opportunity to actually see in real life. And then we have 5 or 6 veterans who work here in the building, and so they get to actually see those veterans and what they have done. I was stationed at Cam Ranh Bay, Vietnam from 1969 to 1970. I was the intensive care surgical technician. And my job was to work with 8 other fantastic medics and 8 other nurses. And our job was to care for American soldiers and South Vietnamese soldiers and civilians who had been injured or wounded in conflict. In the photograph, you'll see the lady, she's there, and her husband, he was a South Vietnamese soldier, and he had been shot, and he was in the recovery unit for at least 2 to 3 hours. And when he finally woke up, she was saying to me in Vietnamese, oh, this is so wonderful, you know. And I'm the official translator, so I'm speaking Vietnamese to her. And I remember her saying in Vietnamese, I'm gonna name my son Clayvon Wesley. And I was like, oh, that was like the greatest honor you could get, you know. And this is kind of the effect that you have on people. So peace is better than war, and healing is better than not healing. And we have to do something that's greater than ourselves. And I try to impart that to the students who come into ISS and says, yeah, everybody makes mistakes, but you need to move on.
He really works well with not just the kids, but the teachers. He is one of the kindest, most gentle souls ever. He is just an amazing person. Not just an amazing educator, but an amazing person.
My philosophy in ISS is to send them back a better student than when they came. If I can support students in moving forward, then that's a good thing.